What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. As you guys have seen by now, James Harden got traded to the Clippers, so he is going to be on this team, but every single player on this team is going to be in their prime. We have 97 Kawhi Leonard, 97 James Harden, 94 Westbrook, 93 Paul George, and the other guys on our roster. Zubac got a little bit of a bump. Mason Plumlee, a little bit of a bump. PJ Tucker, a little bit. But a lot of these younger guys didn't really get anything. But we have three 93 pluses, and I'm just going based off of their best 2K rating. I know that you guys probably would say that there should be a better Russell Westbrook. I guess not. According to the 2K rankings, this is the best that he was. So overall, though, I mean, this automatically puts us at one of the best teams, if not the best, in the NBA overall. If we look through these other teams, notably, I mean, if we go to a team like the Lakers, they have LeBron and AD, some good bench players, but only two 90s. Overall, if we just look at the best players total in the league, I mean, Jokic is up there. After that, Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. We have two of the top three players. Outside of that, too, even in this top 15 area, we're going to have Russell Westbrook, too, Paul George. So, obviously, we are the best team. And looking through this, I mean, we're going to see what happens, how far this team can go. We're going to simulate through this first season, maybe see if we win the in-season tournament, see what happens around the All-Star break. And let me know down below, what is your prediction? How many games do you think we're going to win in this first season? With that being said, we're going to go through this first season. We'll see you at the end. So, I did say we would be back at the end of the season, but let's see what we look like at the halfway point at All-Star break. We are 48-5. We just took a loss to the Warriors, but I am interested to see what this roster looks like. I mean, let's see what the stats look like for these players. We'll go over to our team specifically. I want to see exactly how we're doing. And Kawhi Leonard here. Let's go into there. Kawhi Leonard with 26, 9, and 5 with 2 steals. Paul George with 22. Westbrook with 23. Harden with 18. Norm Powell with 14. I mean, this is exactly how I expected this to be. Harden with 19, 6, and almost 12. I mean, that's crazy. Look at these steals numbers for the top 4 guys. So I'm guessing offensively and defensively, clearly we're looking good. James Harden a 98, Paul George a 95, Westbrook a 96, Kawhi a 98. So guys already getting bumps throughout this season. And it is just insane to see how these players have been playing. Zubac also a starter. I mean, he's not doing much. These guys here with 19, 22, 24, 26, obviously they're running the league right now. And let's see exactly kind of where they overall are team stats, assuming that we're the number 1 seed overall. Only 5 losses on the year, and we've only lost 1 game at home. In the conference undefeated, in the division undefeated. We're putting up 130 points per game, so 10 more than the next team. Points allowed per game, we have the best defense too, so we are just, I mean, a 23-point differential is one of the best probably ever. I'm assuming that's got to be up there as probably one of the best ever. We're 8-2 in the last 10 days, or 10 games, which is interesting since we've only lost 5 games throughout the whole season. Let's look at the East, though. The Bulls, the number 1 seed, very interesting to look at. I mean, it's just their regular team overall, but I guess 2K believes that they're going to be that good this year. If we look at also the Heat, I mean, they got Clint Capella. Interesting. They're looking good. The Bucks with Dame and Giannis. I guess 2K isn't giving them that much. The Celtics, very interesting to have them here. It seems like everyone's healthy. I mean, 80s across the whole lineup, 84 there too. They just haven't been able to do anything. We are the best team overall. I mean, any metric that you want to look at. Is that surprising? No, but I mean, just the way that all these players are playing together. It is good to see that all of the players are playing well together in the starting lineup. I'm assuming that we probably have guys coming in each, every time we get breaks, we're going to have at least one of those 4 guys on the floor at once. I do kind of want to see how the in-season tournament went. Yeah, we went 4-0 in our group. I haven't really looked at this yet in 2K. Our differential is 108. That is insane. The Pelicans minus 115. So, I mean, we're blowing every single team out of the water, including the Nuggets that was on there. Let's see what the award races look like. And Kawhi, Westbrook, and James Harden, all three in the MVP race. We'll have to see what it looks like towards the end of the season. Defensive player Kawhi's up there too. And just interesting to look at halfway through the season. We'll see what we look like towards the end of the year. We're going to be the number 1 seed, so we'll see if we can breeze through these playoffs in the first season. And we get a loss there, but hopefully we end up with less than 10 losses towards the end of the season, maybe break that record. So we made it to the end of the season. Kawhi Leonard, MVP, 26, almost 9 rebounds, almost 6 assists, 2 steals, half a block, shooting 55%, 47% from 3. Insane. Victor wins Rookie of the Year. Chris Paul, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis with the Defensive Player of the Year, so interesting that he gets that. Kawhi gets the MVP, though. He gets the last laugh. Talen Horton-Tucker with the Most Improved, interesting. Shea with the Clutch Player. And we went 75-7, beating the record. Ty Lue gets that Coach of the Year, so good for him. And we're going to see exactly, we don't get the Executive of the Year. That's interesting. I don't really know how that works anyway, but we'll see the first team. We only have 1 player on the first team. We had 3 players in the MVP race. Kawhi's the only guy that gets on the first team, and he gets in there. And let's see what the second team looks like. There we go. We got Westbrook and Harden there. See if Paul George is on the third. He's not, so we'll have to see what his stats look like. Kawhi on the defensive team, just him. Obviously, we're not going to have any rookies up here either. Barely even have enough for 2 teams. So let's see exactly what the stats look like at the end of the year. As we get Kawhi, the MVP season, Russell Westbrook with 22, Paul George with 21, James Harden with 19 and 11. So Paul George just missing out. I mean, 22, 6 and 5 and 2 steals. I would say would be pretty close to getting in there, but I guess they didn't want to give it to too many. We'll just simulate through the playoffs here. Unless something big happens, we should be able to sweep through here. We sweep the Suns and we beat the Lakers. Okay. We can simulate against Memphis. We'll see how Memphis takes game 1 and game 2. Okay, so now we got to look at this game, go into game 3. We got to see what happens. They're winning by a lot here. I don't know if someone's not playing for us, or it looks like everyone's playing. So I don't know what's going on. We're going to simulate through here, and hopefully we can come back in this game. I mean, we're down by 15 now almost. And we're going to go down 3-0 to the Grizzlies. Looking at this roster, I mean, Russell Westbrook 95 against Ja, he's better. James Harden better. Paul George better. Kawhi better. Zubac better. I think it's just because we don't have any defense in that front court. We're going to be down 3-0 to Memphis here in the first year. And I mean, we're going to need to change something. We're going to need our guys to come out here and win this game, or we're going to get swept in the first season. We're going to come out here, easy win in game 4. So nothing to get worried about. Kawhi, 29. Westbrook, 27. Norm Powell with 21. Good game there. James Harden with 15 and 18. That's just crazy. We'll go back down 3-1 now. I mean, we got to win 4 games in a row, so a reverse sweep to stay alive. And Memphis, a huge first quarter. I don't know if we're going to be able to come back from that, as I guess we do there. We're up by a good amount here. Take it away in the fourth quarter, and now it's 3-2. Westbrook with 45, 9, and 7. Kawhi with 33, 7, and 10. Insane here. Looking to tie it up, to go to a game 7. Memphis comes out in the first quarter. We come back towards the end. This one's going to be back and forth. We might have to hop into this one. Memphis up by a lot, though, here. And just like that, we have lost. And Ja Morant comes out and takes us down in our first season, even with the super team. I guess 2K doesn't believe in the super teams. And the Grizzlies go on to win a championship. So, I mean, interesting to look at there. We don't get it done in the first season. We're going to run it back here in our second season. Hopefully we can come out and get a win. But this team, I mean, with all those players, Kawhi winning MVP, we almost got swept in the first round, forced it to game 6. We do end up losing against the Grizzlies. Hopefully we come back in season number 2 and win a championship, because that's embarrassing to have all these players in their prime and still not be able to beat the Grizzlies team. So in year 2 now, Kawhi Leonard goes down by 1, Paul George goes down by 1. We just don't really have a bench. That may have come back to haunt us in the playoffs. We're going to go through. We'll see what we look like at All-Star break again. Hopefully we can get through this season, maybe do better than we did last year. And we lose 2 games already. So this may be rough for us. Even with these 4 players in their prime, we just essentially don't even have a bench to this point. And maybe in the regular season that's good enough to win games, but last year we couldn't beat the Grizzlies in the playoffs. We'll see what we look like at the break. Hopefully we're the first seed overall. The break worse than we are last year, and I mean, if we look here, we got 2 losses here, a loss against the Lakers. We're still 45-9, so still the best team in the league, but like I said before, I mean, clearly with no bench, it is coming to hurt us a lot, and it looks like Paul George, okay, Kawhi still the best overall on this team, 25, Westbrook 22, Paul George with 22, James Harden with 19, and it looks like Bones Hyland has started to come up, Brandon Boston too, both of these guys making their presence felt. We just don't really have that much of a presence in the big role, but overall, I mean, these guards and forwards getting it done. James Harden up to a 99, Kawhi at a 98, Westbrook in a 97. So hopefully we can come back here and maybe get this number 1 overall seed. James Harden, second place for the MVP at 27 and 11.5. Westbrook in here too. No Kawhi. I'm assuming that he would be in there. Yeah, second for Defensive Player of the Year. We're going to see what we look like overall. Still 9 games above the Grizzlies, but I mean, they're coming for us as they beat us last year in the Western Conference Finals. We're still the team to beat, but just clearly not looking as good as we did last year. We'll see kind of where we rank overall in the standings. Last year, our point differential a lot higher. We're still at 20, obviously still very good. The best offensive team, the best defensive team overall. But we did drop more games this year than we did last year. Hopefully we can come out there and we should be able to clinch that number 1 overall seed. Hopefully get some revenge in the playoffs. And by then, I mean, we have a tough stretch towards the end of the season. Hopefully we can get out here, maybe get an MVP again, and with Russell Westbrook or James Harden, get that number 1 seed, come back for revenge. So our second year in a row where we get an MVP. James Harden here comes out with 19-7, 11.5, a big year for him overall. We see Ron Holland win Rookie of the Year. Jaden Hardy gets the 6th Man of the Year, dropping 20. Evan Mobley, DPOY. Brandon Miller, we still get Coach of the Year, 68 and 14, so a little bit of a drop off from last year. James Harden, first team. Westbrook and Kawhi, second team. So still no Paul George on any of the teams yet, but we still get some good players out here. We got James Harden on the defensive second team, Kawhi on the defensive second team. So good to see both of them out there. And hopefully we can finally get it done in the playoffs. We're going to be going up against Memphis potentially in the second round. So that's definitely something to look out for. We drop a game to Houston. We drop another game. So 2-2 in this first series. And I mean, we're on the ropes already against the 8th seed. We're coming out here. Should be an easy victory for us in game 5. Yeah, we beat them there. James Harden with 25, Kawhi with a triple-double, Paul George with 24, Westbrook with 23, Bones Hyland with 20. That's what we should be seeing every single night with these guys. We'll go through, just make sure to simcast this one as we're down by a good amount against the Rockets. We come back though, and we do prevail in the end. We beat them in 6, should have beat them in less. James Harden, MVP performance, 33, 10, and 15. Westbrook, 36 and 11. Big game there, but we're going up against Memphis here. And we sweep them in the second round. Going a little fast there. Portland takes a game off of us. We'll sim through this. They take another game. It's going to be 3-2 here in game 6. A close game 6 here. Potentially to go to the finals. We're up here. We're going to sim through to about, it's a 3-point game with 123 or 129 left, 123 to 120. We're going to come in here and watch this game. Westbrook, top of the key, gives it to Kawhi. James Harden there inside to Zubac, puts it in. 5-point game here with 125 left, looking to try to go to the finals. We have Paul George on Anthony here, trying to drive there, finds the corner. DeAndre Ayton for 3, makes it, and makes it a 2-point game. 126 left here. Russell Westbrook taking it down, trying to bring us to the finals. Behind the back, gets through and gets the jam on his head. Put Scoot Henderson on a poster there. Look at that play. 109 left, 4-point game. Anthony Simons with the ball. Switch, Westbrook on him, top of the key. Let's see what Scoot does. Passes it back. Simons puts it up. Zubac bats it out. Kawhi with the ball. We're looking for the dagger here. Less than 50 seconds. Up by 4. Looking for a 3. Maybe to end this. James Harden passes it inside to Westbrook. Westbrook being double guarded. Almost loses it. It's on the ground. And that's going to be our ball with 6 seconds. 35 seconds left on the clock. Looking for a dagger here from deep. Westbrook gets it. Paul George wide open in the corner. Drains the 3 with 32 seconds. And that might be the shot that sends us to the finals. The Trailblazers take a timeout there. With 30 seconds left, Paul George hits a clutch 3 in the corner. Looking to send us to the finals. Unless something crazy happens here. We'll see if they make the shot. Thibault inbounding. Passes it to Williams. They got to do something. They're waiting for a play to develop, but clearly nothing is. Anthony goes for the deep 3. That's off. 20 seconds left. We're going to run this clock out, and we are going to be going to the finals, beating the Blazers in 6, and potentially looking for a championship with prime Kawhi, James Harden, Westbrook, and Paul George. This team looks good, getting over the hump from last season. So Russell Westbrook here with the Western Conference Finals MVP, holding up that trophy. I mean, we saw that dunk that he had. Paul George with the corner 3. We'll see how this game went. Paul George with 29, 5, and 8. Kawhi with 24, 11, and 7. Westbrook with 22, 4, and 9. Harden with almost a 15-point triple-double. A big game from us. We're going to the finals. We're going to see who we're going to take on. And it's going to be the 76ers once again. They were just in the finals last year. Hopefully, we can go out here, maybe sim through it. Oh, I was going to say potentially a sweep. They take that game. We'll simulate here in game 5, and the Sixers putting up a bit of a fight. We may have to jump in here towards the end of the game, and with just about 3 minutes left, we're gonna jump in with about a minute left, and up by 9. See the Clippers win a championship here. We are gonna play with these guys too. Less than a minute left here. Try to get something, maybe a highlight play. As we go to the rack, they block it there. See who's out there on the court for the Sixers. We got Bones Highland here on Paul Reed. I don't know how that matchup happened. But we lost one game. We win in 5 here. Sixers lose back-to-back finals. Westbrook almost got the steal there. Goes up for the block, can't get it. We're going to run out here. Westbrook looking for one more highlight on the season as he is going to get his ring. James Harden's going to get his ring. Paul George is going to get his ring. And Kawhi Leonard going to get his 3rd championship on a 3rd different team here. Joel Embiid puts that one in. And just like that, even though we didn't get it done in the first season, we come out here in the 2nd year. I don't know where Paul George is. Unless he fouled out. He potentially could have fouled out. No, he only has 2 fouls. Just not even on the floor here. We're going to run this clock out with 10 seconds left. We are going to go on and win the championship. Looking for that step back. The double step back from Harden. Puts it up at the end. just something on the cake there. And for the Clippers fans, I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously, these players aren't in their prime in real life after James Harden got traded there. But despite losing in our first year, we come back here with Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard all in their prime, and win the NBA championship, win the finals. Paul George on the bench. We win it, get it done in 5 in Los Angeles, and we'll see exactly who wins the finals MVP. James Harden holding up the trophy, but we haven't seen who gets the finals MVP left. Paul George holding up that trophy. All these players going to get their rings, go down in history. James Harden going to go down as one of the best shooting guards in history after this. So is Paul George. Russell Westbrook gets his ring on top of that MVP. Russell Westbrook wins that finals MVP too. So, I mean, in this universe, Russell Westbrook jumps up a lot of people's boards all time with that, as we do get the championship here. James Harden actually wins the finals MVP, so they lied about that. James Harden going to move up a lot of people's boards too. And as we know, like I said before, James Harden not exactly in his prime, Kawhi not in his prime, Paul George not in his prime, Russell Westbrook not in their prime either. But all 4 of those guys still good players. We'll see what happens in real life in the NBA, but we do know if they were all in their prime, it may take 2 years to win a championship. They didn't get it done the first year, but they do get it done this year and get it done and win the championship. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any recommendations down below who you guys want to see simulated, maybe another team in their prime, maybe the Nets when all of those players were there with Kevin Durant, James Harden, when they were in their prime, just let me know down below.